All right, good morning, guys. We are back at it. It's gonna be a wonderful hump day today, I am sure. Um, Looks like I made sure my mic was on today, so unlike yesterday, I'm not gonna talk at you guys for 2 hours before you hear anything. Oh man, that was right away. Hey, Lattice. Guten Morgen. I really gotta not. Good morning and German. Morgen. Boris, how's it going, buddy? All right, guys, let's do this. Markets first, right? Markets first. See how we are doing. Put some tunes on here. All right. Morning, Techie. How you doing? Uh, Busy day yesterday. Busy day yesterday. Portfolio was up 6.5, 7% yesterday, just yesterday. So the take that I had on the upcoming ASCO seems to be proving true. Um, yeah, it seems to be proving true. It seems to be good analysis that I had. I'm very pleased with the results so far. Just want to open up my my platform here. If you guys ever see me answering a question that isn't in your respective chat, that's because we are live on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. So I get questions and commentary from all three. I think we're on Facebook too. So yeah, there's commentary from all three, four. Um, okay, so I can pull up my scanners, but I can't pull up my portfolio at the moment. But it was a good day yesterday. I was pretty pleased to see that analysis was bang on. All right, let's get down to it here. We've got the Dow's up, SPY's up. I mean, not up like from yesterday, but it's definitely here. You guys can't hear the music, huh? And I just don't get it sometimes. What is going on here? Okay, unfortunately, guys, it looks like there's not going to be any tunes today. I don't know what OBS is doing. It's not picking things up, so unfortunately, nothing. All right, so what we've got is markets are looking green-ish. Banks are leading the way, followed by industrial, real estate, energy, materials. Tech is still hurting. Healthcare apparently is still hurting. This is very interesting to me that healthcare is hurting. Um, given the given the performance we saw yesterday. Uh, volume. I mean, this was nuts yesterday. This iPix. I mean, it doesn't look like it's done a lot, right? It's fallen from 450, but look at just yesterday. Okay, so up to 21, back down to 18, but 10 million volume on this tiny little floater of a nothing of a stock. It almost makes you think like something's going on there, right? Crazy, just crazy. Do you think we'll see a red day? Um, let's pull up the financial calendar. This week. Okay, so we're through that. We're through that. We've got mortgage applications today. We've got weekly crude stock. That's important. Jobless numbers continuing. Jobless. Initial jobless. GDP. Preliminary GDP numbers. So depending, I think Thursday is looking like it's gonna probably be a fairly red day. Like this is gonna be a big deal. Quarter over quarter Q2 GDP. That's gonna be a major indicator that we have to watch for. If we see a decline in GDP, that is a staggering decline in GDP, then we've got a problem. The market will go red for sure. If we crush this, if we look like the economic reopening so far in Q2, the preliminary anyway, is positive, then I mean, sky's the limit. SPY will be over 300 for sure. Right now, what are we looking at on the SPY? Yeah, we're up over 300 again today, so 302. We're up where we were yesterday, so still some positive movement. It's definitely gonna be a green day today, I think. Okay, let's go. Where are we gonna start? Let's start with our scanners. Oh, that's nothing. FDA approved. Uh, these breakdowns are interesting. It just looks like a catch-all for everything that is a specific stock, and sometimes it pops. Um, I never see anything that's really data because it's every press release that has SRNE in it, but Takeda's not tradable. I don't understand why. Hmm. I mean, it is the only drug. So how many cases of 2,000 cases of malaria? Okay. I think it's going to be a J&J. Pharmaceutical. Okay, so there's nothing there. Okay, let's pull up the dashboard. We can get rid of this. Get rid of this. I don't need to have AstraZeneca and Sanofi on there. I'm done with NNBC. EVFM, that was yesterday. HTC was yesterday. Okay. ONSI, GME, Merck, Marker, MFA, CRX, IMP, Seal, MBRX, DMPI, IPIX. Okay, so let's put GSK on here. Yeah, GSK's on here. Okay, let's see what else we've got for approvals. Okay, so that's all the FDA approvals. Let's go orphan designation. Okay, there's one. There's one. There's one. Okay. What else we got? DMPI's got some news. Tetraphase. Some GameStop love. Okay, I think that's it for PR. So let's see what we got. FDA approves frontline chemo for advanced non-cyclical lung cancer. Opdivo. So this is BMY. So this is the thing you always want to do, guys, when you're looking up biostocks, is it's never going to be a most of the FDA papers are going to give you the medical name of the drug. But what you need to do is go the next step and actually find the brand name. So almost every drug is going to have the pharmaceutical name, and then it's going to have the company name for what they're selling. So this is Sanofi. We are just going to go through. Just going to go through. Dupixent is made by Sanofi. Clear all of these FDA approvals. Yeah, I mean it's rough when there's no money in the market. There's a lot of people actually that I know that are pulling out of the market, and they're just sitting here watching and waiting for this thing to figure itself out for sure. Search Google. Then Parza. AstraZeneca. I guess I should have left AstraZeneca and Sanofi on here. They're just going to constantly have. approvals coming down the pipeline, it looks like. So AstraZeneca has one. So this one may be an option play. I don't think most people will be able to play that on equity. Does that say $21 that went up? Damn. Tetra Therapeutics. Okay, there's no stock. Protera Therapeutics. Terra? There's no stock on this. CLRB. Okay, it's down to 139 pre-market. So that's definitely a potential play. There's one of these that was for a pediatric. Mm-hmm. Okay, GameStop. So GameStop 425 price target. It's already at 442. What are they talking about? 425 price target. Interesting. I am completely at ends with GameStop. All of their analysts are saying sell or hold. I am bullish on it. Um, Based off of what I see, Michael Burry is a huge shot in the arm for it. I just can't see it. I can't see what the analysts are seeing. Where okay, well we're just out of here because it's GameStop. Like no bueno. All right, guys, I gotta fill up this water jar here so I don't lose my voice. I'll be back 60 seconds. I will catch you then. And we're back. Okay, so DraftKings is up again today. Alt win. Still no news on MBRX, huh? Hmm. Morning, Dunhill. How you doing, man? Thoughts on ADR? There are no info on them, but they are seeing 50% increase daily. You think it will continue to happen? Let me take a look. Let me take a look. Okay, so we'll go over here. We'll go ADR. So the reason why there's no news on them is because ADR is coming up as an international index, international 100. So this is a representation of the top 100 stocks, top 100 international stocks listed on the NYSE. So it looks like the bet on ADR, unless there's another ADR. The only ADR I'm seeing here is International 100. Is there another ticker that maybe you meant techie? Because I don't see it. Um, okay, let's head over to social, guys, see what's on there. 96% of the people that died in Italy. Oh, LK. Okay. So here are my thoughts on LK. Okay. Personally, I don't trade in stocks that are committed to fraud. I especially don't like stocks that are committed to fraud. Um, yeah, committed to fraud and are based in Asia outside of proper reporting channels. So, was it up 50% yesterday? Yes. Is it up 24% again today? Yes. Could this be halted again at any moment? Yes. So this is it's not that there's not gains here. There's definitely gains on Luckin. I'm not saying that there's not. But as a trader, I make a point of recommending that you guys always have. I've got three of them kicking around right now. Always have a trade journal, guys. These bad boys here are going to be a lifesaver for you. Always have a trade journal handy. Take notes down on what you're thinking, what you're doing. But for me, the reason for the trade journal is I put my trading rules in there. And most traders who are in the market for a long period of time have certain rules that they try to follow. So some of my rules are I don't take positions in the first 15 minutes of the market. I only trade in bio exclusively. Long equity. I'm not looking at options plays for myself. I'm looking at long equity positions 6 to 18 months out. Don't hold a share position in any single stock that exceeds 40% of your entire portfolio. Um, there are a lot of different rules that you can develop as you go. You will have to create new rules as you start to trade. But for me, there's lots of profit in the market. There's lots of different ways to make money. With this, it breaks one of my rules of don't trade a company that has been accused of fraud. Stay out of Asia is the other one. So, would I be willing to trade in Nintendo? Yes, I think that Nintendo's a little bit different, where there's a Nintendo of the USA, right? Um, for me, Luckin Coffee is like Neo. Um, it the risk versus reward on this for me is like, well, look, it could go back up to $20. Well, it could, or it could just be accused of fraud. Uh, again, we don't know what it's going to look like. So for me, I personally don't like LK on the basis that it breaks a whole bunch of my rules. Now, for those out there that are making money on it, great, great. I'm never going to fault you for making money on it, but you're flying by the seat of your pants. This kind of movement should set off a serious red flag for you. Um, yeah, that's my take on Luckin. So one of my problems with anything global, whenever we have a global crisis, whether it's Hong Kong, whether it's COVID, whether it's whatever, is people immediately look to the U.S. and go, Trump, why aren't you doing anything? And one of my big concerns is the immediate response should be, where is the rest of the world? Where is everybody else as this is going on? This is not. I don't know. Oh, I might be able to bring it back. I have to figure out how to do that. So before, it was relatively easy because of, I mean, Hmm. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. Oh, come on. My mouse is dying, I think. Okay, let's see if I can actually make this happen here. Um, can you guys even see that? I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me go to, I mean, it's a little small, but hopefully you guys can see that. Okay, perfect. So there you go. Chat's there for you guys to see. Okay. Yeah, so I mean my big issue with that is like the politics of it. All right. Elon's getting ready to launch. That's cool. House of Representatives is poised to give final passage to legislation that would sanction Chinese officials for human rights abuses against Muslim minorities. Like, where's the UN? Where is the United Nations? People get so upset with the U.S. when they're constantly involved in international affairs. Ever since Vietnam, they begged for them to get into World War II. They loved it when the U.S. came into World War II and saved the world essentially. But by the time Vietnam hit, the expectation was America was supposed to come and police the world, and that's not. Forget fair. That's not realistic. The U.S. cannot be expected to oversee and enforce the world. That's just not how that works. Um, so I mean, when I see these constant, I don't know that it's interference, but these efforts right now for the U.S. House to be voting on China's treatment of its Muslim populations. I'm completely opposed to China's treatment of its minority, its Uyghur population in the northern China regions. That's not okay. But I also don't know that it's the job of the U.S. House of Representatives to head out there and tackle that. That's not their mandate. The U.S. House, their mandate is to care for all interests and concerns of the United States, both the domestic and international. I don't know that the Muslim populations of northern China are U.S. interest. Um, very, very, very interesting. Okay. Any thoughts on gold? Been going up almost exclusively since February. Let's take a look. Times of crisis, it looks like gold does go up over time. It didn't really through January of last year, so let's go through 6 months. I mean, we had that drop in March, which I mean, I'll give you as expected. So we'll hop that gap. Yeah. Gold as a commodity. Spot is at 1700. Yeah, I think it needs to let some air out of the tires. I think an ounce of gold being worth $1,700 is too much. Way too darn much. We're up 248%. Oh, that's silver. 520% on gold over 20 years. 5 years, 6 months, 30 days. So the past month, it's already started to slow down. Over the past 30 days, it's only up 0.5%. I think that this is a done deal on gold. I think we're as high as we should be going right now. I actually think that we're too high. This is nuts. 20 years ago was only 2000. In the 2000s, if you had bought gold, you'd have a 500% return. Like, it's just insane. Okay. What else we got? What's Bloomberg got for us? Yeah, this will kill the trade deal. This will just kill the trade deal. The U.S. policing Hong Kong will kill the trade deal. Oh no. It's more and more of a push. It's that bad to buy Tesla. It's so up. So with Tesla, guys, Tesla is a 10-year play. Tesla's going to be around forever, absolutely forever. Like they are not going anywhere. So are they in need of deflation? Let's go to 6 months. Okay, over 6 months. So they had that same fall pretty much everybody had in March. Okay, so down in March, recovered. So we'll just skip the gap. Whoop. They really aren't that much up from where they were. I like Tesla up around this 900 line. Um, so I think that Tesla up around 900 is like the look. Mm, that range there. That looks like so that's the peak. That's where we whoa. Go drunk your home line. All right. Yeah. So I mean like that's for me the range that you're gonna see this coming in between here. Is this 850 to 910 range. That's where I see Tesla over the next 6 months. Um, Headed into next year, 2021, it could be 9 to 950. But the stock is definitely worth over $1,000 eventually. Not today. Eventually. That's my take on Tesla. Um, Again, guys, everything on here is completely my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm a guy that just trades the market every day, regular guy like you. So anything that I say on here is my opinion. You guys need to do your own due diligence, set your own marks, set your own numbers, when you're going to get in and when you're going to get out. That's on you guys. You need to make those decisions. That's not on me. I'm just taking a look at the market. This is completely my opinion. Okay. I know you know, but I still have to give that qualifier, that disclaimer. Hey, you're one of Rita's boys or girls or people. One of Rita's people. Yeah, Rita's fantastic. And I mean, Rita, I think is even more bullish on Tesla than I am. Not at all, man. Techie says, I am putting my money in gambling businesses, casinos. Do you think I should hold shares in more casinos or just keep investing in win? Ooh. I would diversify just in case we have a second wave, right? Because if we have a second wave, win is going all brick and mortar casinos are going to take a hit. So what I would do is I I was going to make a play into this industry, and I'm not because I'm in biopharmaceuticals. I would do Win and I would do D King. I would split my holdings between these two. So in the event that you get another lockdown, um, you exit your position have a profit take on Win, but you still have something in DraftKings that you got at a lower price because I think DraftKings we see go up to this 55-60 mark. It's still only at $30, so there's still opportunity to double up on this. That's my thought on that for sure. I wouldn't all in on brick and mortar casinos. No. Um, hmm, that's funny. This is everybody looking at the stock market this morning. like I, I've never seen a better. Yeah, I mean, mm, Heroes Act will never see the light of day at this rate. I mean, we've got some. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Be the day. Be the day. Come on, iPix. Let's go. Verlacidin is showing effect, and I am super pumped. Reopen my trading desk here. This may be something that I actually, now that this is actually getting some positive news on its phase 2 trials, I think this may be something that I look at possibly putting a little bit more into. Guys, if you are looking at iPix at all, make sure that you do your due diligence and you read every report out there, because this thing, hmm. On what? What should you buy? What should you not buy? Okay, guys. So I think that overall this is a great question on when is the right time to buy and when is the right time to sell. And there's two massive schools of thought, okay? And one is, and everybody is selling, you buy. Okay, so let's just look at this chart here, okay? So when everybody else is selling, there's two theories, right? There's one that you inverse the market. So the market is saying sell, 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 sell. That means that there's opportunity to buy. Vice versa, when the market is saying buy, 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 you look to sell. And you inverse the SPY. So the SPY does this, and you do the opposite. So the SPY starts low, you start high, and you just inverse it. My issue with that is this: when you see something unprecedented like this that happens, right? So let's say it goes down like this, and people are going, do I buy or sell, right? This is win here in late February. So it goes down and people are like, okay, so we had a drop. Do we buy or sell right now? What do we do? um, if you're playing that inverse strategy, you would have bought here. Okay, you would have bought at this line, because you would have said, well, everybody's looking to sell, COVID is here, everybody's pessimistic, I'm going to buy. I think wind resorts are too big to fail. I don't see Trump going into lockdown. I'm going to buy here, and you would have been wrong. You would have taken a massive loss, and you probably would have exited at a loss. Or even worse, what you would do is it would get down to another plateau. Here's 3 days in a row, and you'd go, oh, it looks like we've got some stability. I'll buy now. Now I'll buy. Okay, well, we still haven't really recovered to this position yet. And if you bought again, now you're at a loss here, you're at a loss here. and it goes down again. And now you may have held on to your positions. You may have diamond hands and you may have bought at the bottom here and made back some of your money, right? Okay. So it goes up and people are expecting to go up and now you're stuck in this place of, well, do I hold so I make back what I lost on here and here, or do I get out here? And this is where the psychology kind of fails and breaks down for me. It's an inverse strategy. So I'm a bigger fan of don't fight the market. I'm a bigger fan of play the market that's in front of you. If you see a market in March that's facing COVID and potential lockdown and stocks are on a decline, play it to the downside. Okay. As we came out of April, and right now um, we're seeing positive news regarding COVID. So this is win over a month. It hasn't really moved. It's kind of just gone sideways. So now for me, if I'm looking at win, I'm going, okay, we're coming out of uh, we're in the midst of a recession. We've got massive QE. We're seeing an economic lockdown being lifted. People are feeling safer, at least maybe not safe, but safer. What is the potential movement on this right now? Is the market as a whole forget the market? Is society in the market that this operates looking positively? Are they hopeful? And for me, I think the answer has to be almost an exclusive yes, that it is. The market is hopeful right now. And so for me, what I would be doing is I would be, what the heck just happened here? Come on. Yeah, I mean, Nevada grand opening is going to be a big deal. It really is. So I'm not telling you what to do. I'm telling you my analysis on this market would be I am seeing people coming out of their homes. They want to enjoy themselves. They want to have some fun. If you're somebody who's in that gambling scene, you're going to run to Vegas. You are. You're going to go to Vegas. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to gamble online. It's not the same thing. You're going to head for Vegas. I imagine we see record numbers out of Vegas. Yep. All right. No new press releases. Time is ticking away on me here to get in on BlackBerry. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while. At a decent price, 6 months. Wait, what is this? STNE is taking off in a big way. Shopify's up a little bit. Looks like the only massive mover is STNE so far this morning. Yeah, it's just returning to its pre-crisis levels. I hear a little creator. Little creator. I'll be right back. Baby. All right, what do we got? What do we got? What do you see? What do we like? Here, I'll give you this. There you go. What's up? There. Right. What else are you guys looking at this morning? There's got to be some other stuff out there that you guys are watching. Hump day tends to be such a slow day in the market, but the market's like it's a Tuesday today too. So I mean, I know it's Wednesday, but it's only the second day the market's been open this week. So I mean, it should be an interesting day as far as movement. There's not a ton of news right now, though. Indian housing market news. Man, this is not good. This is not what you want happening right now. People are already on the brink. They're already on the brink. This is where you have to dig deep. This is where you have to have that list that you go back to of stocks that you were interested in and you didn't have time to do due diligence on. Let's take a look at it because right now I'm watching. Yeah, link it for sure. Light at the end of the tunnel. Okay, details of the first DoD order for Vesuvia were finally revealed. The initial order of 30 million for the army over 3 years is small, but it's a sign of things to come. Even with a high chance of more dilution, we think it's a buy. On May 11th, after the market closed, when is this from? Well, it's from yesterday. So these are the two lead drugs that ACRX runs is Zelviso and Vesuvia. Zelviso is the one. Zelviso is the one that the German company pulled out of selling. I think Vesuvia is going to be a stronger bet down the road. Hey, 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 chill, chill, just relax, little dude. There are 18 million patients every year. This is the part of the article I like the most. Okay, yeah, there was an Airbus crash. So that just proves that Airbus and Boeing can have planes that crash. We still aren't sure what the cause of that was, whether it's pilot error or whether it's plane fault, though, I don't think. Um, no, don't eat that. 18 million patients every year that visit the ER and are given an IV for pain management. That's huge. 18 million doses every year on this thing. Yeah, I mean, I always wait for the black box data to come out. If the black box indicates that it was a pilot error, great. If it says that it was a functional error, great. Not great, but at least we have some clarity as to what's going on. Running out of pens, dude. Running out of pens. Yeah, so this is it. Like Zalviso got approval in the EU, but it's not the drug. The drug is Dasuvia. That's what we're keeping our eyes on with this. If you see news about Zalviso, it's irrelevant. Um, so I do like ACRX, but I think I may on that news of it could potentially. I mean, a market offering will just offer the stocks at a slightly lower price. It's not like a reverse split, so that's not huge. And I'm willing to take this long hold. So, that's definitely something to weigh in for sure. So what they're saying is because their liquid cash on hand is not huge, it's only 53 million. I mean, the other, yeah, a $30 million order in Q4. They're not really burning. An offering is possible, but I don't know that it's necessary. Yeah. What else we got? Bank of Montreal misses. Fortress Biotech offering stock set for gains with futures up. Hertz are the latest to pay their executive before bankruptcy. Of course they did. Generon prices an equity offering on its Sanofi investment loss. Ah, no, get off that computer. Get off the computer. Computers aren't for babies. Okay, go crawl around. Good news for the EU economy. Hmm. Hey. All right, guys, I am going to run a 60-second ad, find somebody to watch this tiny little terror, and I will be right back. All right, we're back. MGM. Okay, let's take a look at MGM. Yeah, guys, if you have stocks you want me to take a look at, you're reasoning out, trying to figure out, let's do that. Let's take a look. So MGM Resorts International. First thing we're going to do is look at the 6-month chart, see where it was before its fall. So 23, it's back up to 17. MGM Resorts, casinos begin their slow roll. So this is another casino play. This is another brick and mortar casino play. So Techie, I think you said you were the guy that was taking a look at Wynn. I like Wynn better than MGM. Now let's go to MGM Resorts. Okay, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 resorts in Vegas, another 7 in the US, 2 in China, a couple in Japan. Okay, so here's the beast with this, okay? So the reason why I like Win, when everything's open, you stand to make a lot of money, right? However, Win only operates. So we go to Vegas. How many? Yeah, so there's one Win in Vegas. There's one in Macau, there's one in Cotai, and there's one in Boston Harbor. What I like about this is, are people going to be rushing out to these things? Absolutely. Are they going to be packed? Are they going to be gambling? Yes. So Win is going to outperform on that. But what happens in the event that there is a relapse, that we go back into a phase two, that we see another flu? You don't want to be tied to a company that has a massive amount of overhead, and that's what MGM has. In Vegas alone, they've got more hotels and casinos than Win, and yeah, like it's just I don't like it as much as I like Win because of the overhead. Are definitely my thoughts on it. Again, if I was to play the casino gambling sector with the due diligence that I've done, I definitely think that Win, Caesar, or Penn would be the brick and mortar that I look at, and then DraftKings would be the hedge, I guess, against the whole gambling industry getting locked down again. So MGM's up 5, Win's up 1.3. Zoom is showing gains. CCL's taking off. Cruise Lines recovering up to $18 today. So yeah. So it's 6 a.m., hun. You got to get up. You got to get going. What about oil? What about oil? Let's take a look. Okay, so go back to the markets. Oil. Modest gains, 1.5, 1.2 on futures. Um, let's take a look at USO. We'll take a look at MRO. Let's take a look at Oxy. Let's take a look at USL. So what I'm looking at here, guys, is I want to check the current trend. And so what I'm seeing here, let's go 1 month. So this is USO up at the top. It's MRO down at the bottom. USO and Oxy. Okay, so these are really interesting, guys. So USO is a catch-all, right? Oxy is a single company operating. What do you notice about these two? You guys see this? Where it's like, hmm. Come on. From here to here. Okay, so you guys see that arc, right? And then from here to here. You see this pattern here? It's emerging between these two. I mean, this is just pretty much flat there, but now we've got this happening. This is on an upward incline, but it looks like it's leveling. Again, this is looking like it is sideways right across. For me, I don't see a massive decline in the oil glut. I would kind of stay away from oil right now with Russia talking about maybe picking up its production again. Everybody thinks that USO is this safe deal, and it just isn't. It when we see oil do something like it's never done in the history of the world, uh, and that's go negative. I think that we stay down around this 25-30 mark until we get through this glut. I don't think we break through back up into these levels until we see us through the glut, and then consumption has to take us back through to get us here. I think it's a year before we see it back up anywhere around these 50, 60 levels. So if you're willing to wait 12 months, yeah. There's no rule of thumb. What's important to have down, and this is where setting your rules comes in handy, right? So, portfolio management. Okay, so diversified portfolio. For most people, what their portfolio looks like for the day trader, it looks like 80%. Hold on, let me. So cash, equity, bonds, options, real estate, income. Not a problem, Kibram. Hope that helps. Okay, so this is a little bit bigger than your stocks, but this is your entire investment portfolio. Okay, so for a day trader, for a swing trader, for a long trader, for a business person. Okay, so day traders are a Robinhood contingent. Okay, so they probably keep about 10% cash. Um, Equity, I would say maybe they've got a little bit of stock, so we'll say 10% of that. They've got nothing in bonds, and they YOLO 80% into options. They wouldn't own real estate because they don't care. They only want to play with stonks, and they don't have any business really outside of uh, the stock market. So really, what they're just looking at is their gains on what they make in the market. Okay, so that's how they're weighted. A swing trader is going to have probably a little bit more in cash. They're going to have a lot more in equity, right? So I would technically be a swing trader. I think you probably see about 65% of a portfolio in equity. There's probably about 5 to 10% in bonds. So 70, 80, we'll say 5% there. Options 1%. What does that leave us? 65, 15, 70, 85, 6. Let's say 10% in here. That takes us to 96. And then I guess we can make this 5% because they wouldn't really be in sales if you're a swing trader. If you're a long trader, this looks more like uh, maybe 5% of your portfolio in cash. Um, 40, 40. No, that's too much. Let's do 35, 35. So that's 75 we're at. 5% in there. So 70, 80, 90. I guess we can make this 10 and this into 45. So again, sales don't come in. Long business person, they want minimal cash on hand because cash doesn't make you money. Morning dice. Equity, we are looking at probably 30% of their portfolio in equity. Bonds, maybe 10%. Options, maybe 10%. Actually, a business person doesn't have the time really to manage their bond market, so I would say less than that, probably 5%. Real estate is going to be significantly more. Probably about 30% is in real estate as an asset. And then whatever's left would go on sale. So 30, 60, 70, 80, 20% into building businesses that create an income funnel. Now, this is what this typically looks like, guys. That's where assets are divided. Now, what's interesting is to break this down. I see. So far this year, I'm seeing about 860% gains on my equity portfolio. Bonds, I don't hold any, so I see nothing. Cash growth, cash doesn't grow, so I see nothing. Options, I've seen, I think I'm down 35% on options. My real estate has appreciated at least 15%. And sales, I am up 70%. Right. Okay, so this is what year to date looks like for me so far. So what you need to do, guys, is take a look at these different models of like, okay, how are we gonna manage the portfolio? How are we gonna put this together, right? And once you've got that in your mind, it's like, okay, well now that I see kind of how you split these things up and where some priorities may be, well now you look over at your own portfolio and you go, okay, well where's my money coming from? Where am I seeing value come from? This is why for me, I have nothing in cash. My money's out there. Okay. For equity, I've got, I would say 98%. No, 95%. Nothing in bonds, 1% in options. Um, well, I mean, I don't spend it on anything on sales. They just, oh, that's not true. I'd say 1% on sales, which leaves me with 3% for real estate. Like that's how my portfolio breaks down, and that's because I've recognized where my wins and losses are. Um, Cash doesn't win you anything. Bonds I don't trust. Oh no, are you kidding me? Uh, well, that's not useful to anybody, right? There you go. Hopefully that's better. Um, so this is what we're looking at here, guys. Day trader, swing trader, long trader, business person, myself. Here are the breakdowns by percentage. Um, yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at here is like for me, I looked at all these different vehicles that I could put my money into and I went, okay, so where am I seeing the greatest level of return? Well, clearly my equity is showing me the greatest levels of return. Now, if we were doing dollar figures, that would be different, but we're talking about greatest returns. So this is the greatest return on investment for me at the moment, which is why I doubled down on long equity. Um, as far as bonds go, I don't really trust it. It sounds like the Fed's going to start manipulating bonds. I'm not a huge fan of that. I want to stay away from it. Options, I'm down. So from a typical swing trader, yeah, no, that's my bad. I should have had that down. Ugh. Um, yeah, so for most swing traders, you're looking that they would have a larger holding in options. For me, that's just not the case. I see very little in the way of gains on options. I could probably dedicate some time and money to learning it more effectively, but it's not of interest to me. Why would I worry about making more gains on options when I can just divest that funds into equity? Now, inside equity, um, and this is the one where now I do want to show you this, right? So let's go back to this. Okay, so now with equity, um, I have my portfolio weighted. Now I am breaking one of my rules with a 53% holding in ACRX, but um, I like to diversify across a variety of stocks. I don't just have a single one. So I've committed 80% of my portfolio into healthcare, but that's divided across five stocks. I've got another 13% in MFA. That's a long drip equity play. And then GME, which is GameStop, has about 4% of my portfolio in it right now. So this is what the portfolio is looking like right now. Even within equity, yeah, I have 95% of my liquid cash for investment in equity, but it's diversified even inside that holding. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. It's like how much should I put where, when, why, how, right? I hope that provides at least a little clarity. Um, so I think what you need to do, yep, that and hair that's an absolutely spot on evaluation of your own trading. If you are somebody who consistently takes losses, right? My current win rate for the past month and a half is like 9 out of 10 on bio. Um, on my long equity bio plays. Now I did take two that were on another person's strategy, on macros strategy with Robinhood, and those were both losses. But anything that's been my long hold bio portfolio, it's been 9 out of 10 wins. Um, and that's huge. So why, if you have got something that's going to win 90% of the time, would I go play around with options that I only win 20% of the time? It doesn't make sense. Like take every advantage you can in the market, guys. Take every advantage you can. Um, it, it, yeah, it just breaks my heart to see people that are constantly pounding away on Robinhood at these options, and they're losing and they're losing and they're losing, and they think, well, I'll just come back at it again next time and it'll be a different result. It won't be a different result. If you keep doing that same thing over and over and over and over, you're going to see the same result. Even if you've learned the lesson of, oh, I understand what I did wrong with options this time. For the most part, I just see people continuing to go back into options and blowing it all. And the reality is, had you taken that same amount of money and placed it in long equity, on a lot of those very similar stocks that are being played on Robinhood, right? So ACB, for example, right? So here's ACB. Yeah, doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. That's insanity. Um, why does it keep doing that? Uh, and a fine tune this after the stream. Yeah, so I mean, guys, take every single thing that you can and go, okay, well, great. How do I make money on this? But if you look at this over 6 months, right? So ACB is the one everybody wants to talk about. Okay, how much money do you think degenerates have poured into ACB over the past 6 months? It's a lot. It's a lot. So if you had waited until it was down, even down here at the $7 mark, yeah, it declined a little bit. If you got in at the 5 or the 7, you would have doubled up your money here, right? Oh, I'm making you money, Cybot. Cybot, what are you looking at today? Um, but yeah, like this is it. This is it, guys. This is the beast. This is what is. Ooh, what? Cybot subscribed. Yeah. So guys, I do have new emotes coming. The beaver is the one that's there and available now. There will be a couple more coming. I know Cybot had a huge win on Waiter, so we do have a Waiter emote coming down the line. That was one of my biggest wins so far this year. I'm pretty stoked for that. But yeah, here it is, guys. Uh, ACB, instead of, let's say you are somebody who threw $100 into options on ACB on it can't go any lower, right? The concept of it can't go any lower. And let's say you got in here, okay? And you had options plays for a month. You may have won. You may have won. Congratulations. If your strike was up here. However, if you held and you had long dated options, you would have lost everything. And that's what kills me with options is you're holding nothing in your hands. You're holding literally nothing in your hands. And that's just brutal. With long equity, if you had bought this thing at $5, buy it at $5, you would have tripled up. I'm not encouraging people to buy ACB, by the way. I'm just using it as an example, right? So DMPI. Ooh, Bristol Myers. Bristol Myers got good news today. AbbVie. What's AbbVie up to? Bristol Myers got good news today for sure. Ugh. Uh, don't go near ACB. Stay away from it. Okay. Threw up a little bit pre-market. I didn't see any news on AbbVie though. I know BMY is gonna have a good day. They got an FDA approval. Yeah. Yeah. BMY is up for a good day today. This is huge. I'm so pumped for this. I'm gonna have my kids watch this, I think. It is today, 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is historic, guys. This is absolutely historic. This is the first private company, space beat Boeing to getting NASA into space. Okay, so yeah, Techie to go. I closed the sheet. Shoot. Okay, so options plays. So uh, equity is trading stock. You're just trading stocks. You buy and sell stocks, and that's it. Then on top of that, well, I mean, even with that, you got somebody who's long equity. That means that they just buy stocks. So they buy stocks hoping that they go up, and then they sell them. Then you've got short sellers, and those can be equity players as well. They buy a stock and they hope that it goes down. So they sell a stock technically, and it goes down, and then they buy it and they make a profit. And then you've got options that are saying, well, I'm not buying the stock itself. I'm buying the option of buying 1,000 shares of this stock at this price. And so what you get is, let's open this back up and show you. It won't be a populated options chain, but okay, so down here in this section, what you see, this is an options chain. Okay, so let's pick on something that's got Merck. Okay, so what this is saying is for every option, you've got three things that you're looking at. Well, there's a ton of stuff you're looking at, but the three basic things are date of expiry, strike, and the bid ask. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to say, okay, 19th of June. Okay, I think right now Merck is at 77.26. So I think I like Merck. I like, yeah. Is this Merck? Yeah. I like Merck. I like where it's headed. I think it's going to go up to 85 by then. And so what you would do is you would go down here to 85 and go, okay, well, let's switch off probability to basic. Okay, I think it's going to go to 85. Well, great. So what you're saying is 85. You always have to add two zeros to the price. They're not 18 cents per contract. But if you think that this is going to go to 85 by June 19th, you could buy contracts on this for $18 a pop and say, okay, um, I'm going to buy this. And if it moves up, if the stock moves up, and by the date of expiry, it hits that mark, I'm going to be able to buy 1,000 shares of that stock at that lower price that I acquired the contract for. Okay. Now, people don't actually look to exercise their options. What they do is they buy and trade that price movement. So if you buy, so right now that's far outside the money. Like there's a whole bunch of strikes to get to 85, right? And at 18 cents, it's got a long way to move. But if you look at the value, the price value on something here, like these are worth $200 a piece, right? And the money's worth $222. So what you could do, the price moves up towards your 85 mark, your $18 option slowly becomes worth more and more and more. And if it gets near a strike, it's worth 200. So you take a single option and go from being worth $18 to $200, right? Now, the risk with this is, let's say you hit the date of expiration and you haven't sold and you haven't hit your strike. What do you hold in your hands? Nothing. You hold nothing. It's gone. That money is gone forever. You will never see it again. It's gone. It's completely disappeared. Um, so Unlike equity, where it's like, well, I think it's going to get to this by this date, and you're still holding the stock and it doesn't quite hit it, and that's fine because you can keep holding it or you can sell it or whatever. You still have something to show for it. It's not completely gone. Options, it can be completely gone. I'm not going to get into selling options because that has something called unlimited loss, and that's just scary. See, this is the thing I love the most is the okay, this is the fun part. Man, I gotta get a hotkey for T. I keep forgetting to take that down. You won't be able to hear it, but you will be able to see it here. But like this is huge. So there's the escape. So what they're doing here is an abort. If they see that something's wrong, whoa, baby, look at that. Boom. This is just them floating back down to Earth. But like, I'm not saying it can't fail. It can definitely fail. But will it? I just don't think so. Did I see the Amazon propaganda video? No. Um, yeah, but I mean, so okay, so guys, the way that this works, just in case you are unaware, is nobody has an issue with this. Hold on, I'll show you. Uh, PR Newswire. Okay, let me ask you something. Do you have an issue with this? Newswire, right? So this, for those of you that don't know, you put out a press release as a company, a formal press release. It goes into something like PR Newswire, okay? And this goes out to all of the news publications and says, okay, here's the story. For the most part, those news publications are getting these by the minute, like you and I are. And what they do is they go through them and find stories that are of value. Amazon is big news right now. And so what happens is they send out a press release across one of their channels. They probably don't get their press through the same tool I do. They've got another tool. But all of those channels are pulling from the same press release, which means that you've got you, you've got a bunch of people that are reading from the same script essentially. And I don't think that that's propaganda. I think that each of those stations has made an autonomous decision to read the same piece of news. Now, do I think that they should switch it up, spice it up, let them ad lib a little bit? Absolutely. But I think one of the big rules in news casting is don't ad lib. Read from the prompter, do what you're told to do, don't ad lib. And that leaves you with these robotic repeats of the same text over and over and over and over again because it's an approved script. on the news that came through the wire. So don't feel like you're being indoctrinated here. It's simply people are reading from the same news sources. You could do that with a lot of press releases out there. I imagine you could probably do something like that with Tesla today. I imagine you could probably do that with anything that Trump puts out there. There's probably very similar news sources on that as well. So I like don't be shocked. It's not indoctrination. It's people reading a press release just like you and I do. Um, I mean, I've got some appreciation here for Erdogan. He hasn't gone asking the IMF for money. He's trying to make sure that Turkey can provide for itself, which is applaudable. Now, does that mean that there's going to be some short-term pain? Absolutely. The race is on, boys. Race is on. First to the vaccine. Every time I see this, all I can think of is Ready Player One. For all you nerds out there that love Ready Player One, first to the key, first to the egg. Let's go. Let's go. CCL's up 11, BMO's up 10, Save is up 12, DraftKings up 4.5. There's Cybot's Cruise Lines up 12%. Not a bad week. $12 to 15. That's a decent gain. Yes, sir. They most certainly are. Hey, Jericho. Yeah, Carnival will be up. Norwegian, Royal. I'm sure Royal Caribbean. I'm gonna look up Royal Caribbean. That'll be up as well. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, guys, the way that it works is, um, okay. So we're gonna have what is it? CN CNSP, and we're gonna have WPD. You guys don't see this, do you? Let's go to add window. Okay. 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 So WPD, CNSP, and MBRX. Okay. Okay, so the way this works is MBRX owns WP 1122. Okay. They meant to use it for brain tumors and they licensed it to CNSP. Okay, so they said, here, you guys can have the license to study this. So to study it, we'll put like a little magnifying glass. Okay. So magnifying glass. They said, okay, you guys can study this. You guys can help produce it further. Check it out. CNSP went, oh, okay, well, we like this, but in order to develop it, we need to go to WPD, and they need to develop it. So these guys are the guys doing the lab work on it. Okay. Now, what does this mean as far as WPD's relationship to MBRX? Okay. So the way that this works is MBRX licenses the ability for CNSP to do the investigations on the drug. CNSP is using WPD to do the actual research. So WPD is tied to MBRX is dollars. WPD is a Canadian company that would retain some rights to the sales options on MBRX or with MBRX on the sale of the drug in Canada. So that's the value to them. So it's a money connection this way. It's a two-way street. Okay. But CNSP, they are the one that currently are licensed to have the drug, and if they start to sell it, MBRX also profits from that. So all three win if the drug goes through. Now, right now, all three of these guys were halted. Okay, so they got a big red stop sign. Stop from the SEC on claims that their WP 1122 actually stopped. Yeah, WPD is Canadian, which is probably why you can't see it. Don't be drinking more about buying NCLH, but you could definitely think about buying more. So yeah, so the way that this works, guys, is all three were halted on the claims that WP 1122, if you want to Google it, that's what it is. 1122. This here is the name of the drug. It's 100% effective against COVID, is the claim, which had everybody very interested. They actually had medical studies and peer-reviewed studies in order to evaluate the drug, and that was proven. The SEC said, whoa, 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 hold on. So they halted all three of them. WPD, after their 10-day halt, got the green light. So they're trading again. These two are still halted. So we're still waiting for approval for these guys to start trading again. What's interesting on this is for WPD to be unhalted means that it is directly tied to the press release on the efficacy of the drug. Now, what the SEC is looking for is more information provided regarding whether or not the drug actually works. If MBRX comes out of this and the SEC says, well, we see no clear evidence that this is 100% effective, MBRX is going to take a hit. There will be a fine. Same thing with CNSP, but they will survive because WP 1122 is a brain tumor drug as well for cancer that is highly sought after. So these guys will be fine. Their business will be okay. Now, if they come out of the halt and the SEC says, yeah, their claims are valid, we see the data supporting the claims, they are valid, these are going to go to the moon. They're going to go meteoric. Hopefully that's helpful. Hopefully that helps everybody understand what's going on here. No problem. All right. Last little bit here, guys. Throw any stocks out that you would like me to look at. I'm happy to do that in this last 20 minutes here. Not seeing a lot come in as far as press releases, though, right now, which is very, very interesting. Typically, the mornings like this just have massive dumps of news, and there's nothing. It's super quiet. Top news. Go over to headline here. Oh, come on. What was the name of that tool? Shoot. Uh, can I look at LNTA and okay, LNTA, foreign market, huh? LNTA. Supermarkets are going to be big. So let's take a look at 6 months. No chart available. No chart available. 5 days. What? Did this just launch? It's a new company. Um, Russian market. This IPO? Is that why is there no data past 5 days? Weird. I can't get data past 5 days on this. Um, so I don't know price points. I couldn't really speak to this. Other than that sector is going to be fine. Anything in grocery is going to resume to fairly decent levels. AFLT, Russian Airlines. Again, I think you can look to see a similar resurgence. I think for this to be back up around the 120 ruble line would be reasonable on 6 to 12 months. Trading view, ALNT, ALNT, LNTA. Sorry, LNTA. No, that's the wrong one. LNTA. MOX. Okay. Conversion USD to ruble. Okay, so 70 to 1. So divide this by 3. So this is a $3 stock. Hmm. It's a grocery chain. I think 6 months, 4 to 6 months, you could probably see it in the 170 to 180 range, depending on food shortages in Russia. Um, and then 6 to 12 months, you could see it returning back up to this 200, 210 level. Um, Hmm. It's listed as a buy. I think for now, if you're just playing it on the movement, this is a solid level for it. It seems to have held this level from that 240 to 200 fairly well. So for it to return back up to that over 6 to 12 months, I think it's fine. Do you think you'll see? I can't really speak to it a ton because I'm not familiar with the chain. I don't know the Russian economy. I'm yeah. What I do know is grocery stores tend to do well through crisis. So that's probably the best insight I could give you. I wish I could give you more, but I just can't. Um, do you think we'll see a red day this week, or will it be on the upside? Um, Depends on what happens with this China back and forth. I think it could very much be a red day or two in there. This is the one that I wanted to look at earlier, and I closed the article. ALPMF. No, that's why I closed it. Okay, so this is a big deal though. Bladder dysfunction in children, like that's a huge deal. This is a big thing. Um, Unfortunately, it's pink sheet. So VAR one. Guess I got to go back to trading view for that. VAR one. I guess it's that one. Yeah, so they've seen the bounce back already. It looks like their levels are 100 to 118. So there's small room for growth on this, but I would say 100 to 118. Sorry about that, Jericho. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the Russian markets, and honestly, guys, to trade in a market, you have to understand the intricacies of it, the geo, the political. So like I said, I know that food shortages can be a risk in Russia. And that's just from my loose understanding of some of the stuff that happens in Russia. Also, you've got a lot of state, not interference, but state management of businesses and really tight fisted on how businesses operate. So that could also greatly affect a stock like that, where the state could just mandate you have to give out food to people. It doesn't matter if they have money or not, and that grocery stock goes down into the ground. So it's tough. It's tough, 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 tough to trade a market you don't understand. Um, can you take it's a German battery that works closely with Apple. Yeah, I would say the 100 to 110 range looks pretty solid on that. Yeah, 100 to 110 is where I would see this. So timeline is also important, guys. 4 to 6 months, 100 to 110. Yeah. So search ASCO and then search ASCO. So ASCO, you can go right in and look, but ASCO ONSI. ACRX, they did get confirmation on their 30 million order from DoD, so that's there. Other than that, we haven't heard anything, but they are looking like a good long hold still. MFA is just that slow grind. It is that slow, consistent grind that we're going to see. Um, Posters and publications, ONSI ASCO. Um, so that's for their ESMCO. This is their ASCO. So this is a breakdown, and I mean, so these are the medical papers. I love AT&T, but I like T-Mobile better. T-Mobile is better positioned for 5G coming out for sure. So this is a breakdown of Auntie's prep for ASCO. It's a breakdown of the results. This is a lot of medical jargon, so you'll have to read through this. You'll have to do a lot of Google work on it to understand what's going on. But essentially, here's the abstract. Here's the idea. Here's what they're trying to accomplish with this study. What you see as a result of that is 73 patients were enrolled. Yada yada yada. Uh, Results: low levels of expression were associated with prolonged treated points. There was no relationship between this and mRNA levels. The luminal, not the cytoplasmic Commissioner score was highly correlated with mRNA conclusions. Elevated levels are known to prevent entry of adenovirus into cells. CM may be included as a candidate biomarker for resistance to pylori, and in theory could inhibit viral trafficking in tumor cells. So, it essentially this study indicates that yes, there is effect from Onsi's drug on what it's built to do. There's the conclusion. There's the bottom line. But you want to go through this and try to understand why that's important, what the drug is, and that's where these discussion things are important. That's where actually reading this data and understanding what they did, but that takes time. It takes time and takes a lot of effort. So hope that helps, guys. 10 minutes left on the clock here. If you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, please don't hesitate to shout it out. Okay, so you like AT&T on the dividend, huh? Yeah, I'm here. What's up? Yeah, I'm here. What's up? I'm still streaming. They can't hear you. I'm streaming, but they can't hear you. No, no, you're good. I can't open it on stream. Whatever you're gonna send me. Um, that's Martini on the line, guys. I know you can't hear because my headphones are busted today. I got to do a better job for sure of checking my audio levels before I start up my stream. But 4 in the morning. What are you gonna do? Okay, what else we got? AT&T. We're looking at AT&T here. We're looking at a whopping 6.7 yield. Wow. Yikes. Okay, versus T-Mobile. No dividend. Dun dun dun. So, I mean, yeah. If you're looking for a dividend play, I guess T-Mobile's a play. You know that I'm always going to tell you for dividends, I like MFA better. Now, currently, they're not listing a yield, but their yield was 10%. I'd rather take a much higher volume position in MFA, get the growth on it back up to the $6-7 range, and then capture a 10% dividend yield on it. I think I like this play better than AT&T still, Sabat. Another online education company beat on revenue. I wonder what that does today. I wonder. Sunland's ticker is STG. The dividend one was MFA. Oh, MFA. This one is STG. Nice. Nice, Mr. McJ. 20% gains on learning. Ooh, that is a bold claim. Netflix down 60%? Hmm. That is a wide gap. So at the high end, people are looking at Netflix at 580, and this guy is saying he sees it at 180. What? 160. Hmm. We are not a pump and dump scheme. So says Sorrento. I disagree. MSI. 1.8 dividend. It's a much smaller dividend on Motorola, and I don't like hardware as much as I like infrastructure with 5G. Um, okay. All right, guys. I'm not seeing anything else pop up on press releases. GSK is something we've already got. So I think at this point, guys, I'm gonna call it a morning. I will be back. I'm back every day, Monday through Friday, 4:30 a.m. to 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just hanging out, doing due diligence, breaking things down, trying to help everybody get ready for the market. Hope you guys had a blast today. If you're not already following, subscribing, do all that good stuff. I'm gonna head out for today, though. Thanks for watching. If you missed the start of this, no problem. I run a rerun right afterwards, so you guys can catch that. I will catch you tomorrow. Best of luck in the market out there, guys. Take it easy.